No, I just wanted to say, great, thank you. I mean, it was, this whole thing came out of a conversation that John and I had last year at another conference, where he was just sharing with me some sort of observations. And I then went away and thought about, we've got a new strategy, 2030, defines to an extent the problem and what we as an organisation can do, but that's not enough. And so what do we need to put in place to make our goals a reality? And so that's when I started thinking what we really need to do. It's always been our instinct to be kind of collaborating and bringing the sector together, not just the obvious place, but cross-sectoral, so to try and get a collaboration between industry, research, academia, health, in all its forms, life, mind, body, in terms of not only thinking about health, but health and care. And it just occurred to me that we didn't have a vision. We have a shared passion, but we don't have a shared picture that we can communicate between ourselves and kind of more importantly to everybody who's not in the room. So government, the public, the media, so that we can come up with something that's compelling, inspirational, and achievable in the long term. And I think it's, if you know where you want to ultimately get to, you can then take the incremental steps in the short term to get to a shared vision. What's the next steps for us? Well, I came into this conference with something on a piece of paper, but I really was in listening mode. This panel discussion is not an exercise in just regurgitating something that's been placed in front of our guests here. But I wanted to hear their suggestions, which is why the one thing I did feed tonight was I wanted to ask the question if there was one for anyone. So the delay in me coming up on stage was because I was furiously scribbling in my little book, just taking some of the key messages out. It's great to see that many of the things you were talking about are in the call for action. So that gives me faith that we're starting from a good place. And I think there's significant variations and there's a long way to go forward in taking those forward. One thing I definitely do want to do is I want to come back here in a year's time, have a two-day conference, and ideally my dream would be that we would have a green paper or white paper which would set that vision out in detail, that has been informed by a consultation and a process, a series of workshops and working groups that creates a consensus which is demonstrable. And I would invite anybody in this room that wants to be part of that journey to contact a member of SIA staff, contact me directly. I've got my little black book. And not only this evening, but also at a networking breakfast tomorrow if you're there, or email afterwards. We want this to be a collaborative effort. This is not, we're happy to help convene it, we're happy to try and create, to be the spark, but we want to be, to invite the other charities, for instance, that are active in this process. I think their role will be vital to get the collective experience for people with lived experience. There's one thing that's common across all speakers, is that we need to put the lived experience at the heart of the design and the articulation of this dream. So that it's not over-professionalised, but it is actually really relevant. So I want this to be a truly collaborative exercise, and I welcome your questions now, but also your input and engagement over the year to come. This will be a long-term project. We're not going to get into a strategy in a day. I think the first step is to get that written consensus based vision, and then we can work out what the next steps are in terms of government, standards, policy, and such like.